All right, traders, the red streak is officially over. The portfolio had a huge day today, making over 10 scalps with a win rate above 80%. Very nice, quick in and out scalps. Some were 30% gainers, 40% gainers. Others were like 10, 15% gainers. Ended up crushing it. The portfolio is up over 7%. I'm going to be recapping some of the trades that were made today, the very quick in and out scalps towards the end of this video. I want to give a big shout out to all the members within Trader Society who've been absolutely crushing it. It's crazy, man. So people have been getting some crazy results as of late, 55% return. Big shout out to Dimitri. His portfolio is up 16%. Record breaking day for him, and you guys are absolutely crushing it. So let's get straight into it. We're going to start off the video with the newly updated price action analysis for the SPY. This is going to help give you a better understanding in terms of trend direction for tomorrow. When to be bullish, when to be bearish, when to scalp the calls, when to scalp the puts. So in terms of my style for scalping, I stay out the money, I get in, I get out very, very quickly, cut the losses quick, and I'm holding for, a couple minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes at the most, right? Very in and out. Nice quick scalps. I'm also going to be addressing, I had some questions about SPX. For the first time in a while, I was trading SPX today instead of the SPY. I traded SPY earlier, and then I switched to SPX. I'll be addressing that as well in terms of the benefits and disadvantages between the two. So make sure you stay to the end of this video. Let's get into the updated price action analysis. So this is what I want to bring awareness to. We are at a very interesting price within the market. So you can see we have a resistance right here on the SPY at 378.30, and this is make it or break it resistance. If this just if we gap down tomorrow and SPY cannot flip back to green and turn this 377.97 into support, it's going to get crushed and have a very, very nice drop. Psychologically, this is a very key resistance level. Now, this is another thing that I want to mention and bring up in terms of this pattern. So my first theory is, if we gap down, if the SPY is red and it does not go back to green, it's not turning 378 into support, it's not breaking above 378, it's not breaking above 378.30, 378.50, if that is not occurring when it's red and it cannot turn that into support, then it's super bearish. Now, here's the other theory that I do want to bring awareness to. What would convince me that SPY would have an overall bullish day? So this is a pattern, and this is another trend. This is the second thing that I want to bring awareness to is this right here. Let me quickly find this pattern for you guys here. This is it. So you see these two red bars, and you see these two red bars very similar, and then you have this nice green day, and then you have this nice green day, then you have this bullish hammer, then you have this bullish hammer. You see how that pattern is repeating itself to a T? Very, very similar in a sense. You have this green bar, two red bars, and then followed up by a green bar, and then a nice bullish green hammer. You have this green bar followed up by two red bars, and then you have this other green bar followed up by a bullish hammer. And if you look at the candlesticks identically, they're at very similar prices. So here's what I want to bring awareness to in this pattern. If you go to the pattern in terms of tomorrow, this is where we'd be at. You can see the SPY went below the previous closing price, but once it went back above the previous closing price and started breaking out and reacting as a support level, it was a very bullish day. So I want to bring awareness to that in terms of, okay, if I am bullish on the SPY tomorrow, this is how I would be bullish. I would want a move down. I would want a red move down. I would want this to go below the previous closing price. I don't want to buy into a gap up. That's not what I want to do. This is what I would do. Once 378, so if we gap down and it rips back up and it's breaking above 378 and you see a break above 378.30, it's reacting as support, it's looking bullish, then I would play the calls on the red to green move once it goes back to green. Now, if we somehow gap up, then 378.30 will be the make it or break it light switch level. And then in terms of your best price to possibly dip buy calls would be 366.61. But in terms of preference for this video, what I would prefer to happen is a gap down, and then I would like to see how it reacts. Like I said, if we get that gap down and it rips back up into the, earlier into the day towards like 10 a.m., 10:30 a.m., whenever it's going to rip back up, and then you see it consolidating above the previous closing price, it breaks above this 378.30, it's going to be a super fucking bullish day if that occurs. And you could see in terms of that pattern in history repeating itself, it is already gapping down and it's already faking out at that 378.30 level. So again, just to bring awareness to the bullish pattern, if you see it rise above 377, 378, and a nice clean break above 378.30, it's reacting bullish, it's forming support earlier in today, going red to green, I think it's going to be a super fucking bullish day if that occurs. Now, in terms of the bear case scenario, if it fails, if it's, struggling and failing to break above 378.30, it's looking bearish, it keeps flipping and staying red, then it's going to be an overall bullish day. So just do not get trapped holding fucking puts even though it's at resistance level, because like I said, if this breaks above 378.30, after it's red on the day and gaps down and then it pushes back up to fill that gap and then it's forming support, it's going to be super bullish. But if it maintains red and, reacts bearish, then it's going to be an overall bearish day. Another thing that I would want to bring a view on is if it's a big gap down tomorrow, it's going to be likely a pretty bearish day, but there will be some sort of rip, right? So just understand 378.30 is make it or fucking break it. If it opens up red and then it flips green and it breaks above 378.30, super fucking bullish. If it just continues to react red and continues to go bearish, it's going to be an overall bearish day. Those are my thoughts. Those are my analysis. Do not get faked the fuck out on puts, even though we're at key resistance levels. Understand that 378.30 will be the make it or break it level, and understand if it gaps down and it is red and it pushes above 378.30, super bullish day in my opinion. Now, in terms of levels, if we do go under, we got to crack this resistance. In terms of bears, this is what bears would need to accomplish. It's got to go under 377.40. If that occurs, then we'll see a pullback to 375.50. If it goes under that, the next pullback is 374, right? So those would be the key make it or break it levels. In my opinion, though, to go overall super bearish tomorrow, it would have to have a decent gap down, in my opinion. That's kind of what just a nasty move early. In my opinion, if this is a small gap down and this thing starts ripping above the previous closing price and breaks above 378.30, I could see very bullish. And then again, for the bearish analysis, as long as it's maintaining under 378, then it's super bullish. But if you see that flip from green, from red on the day to green, it's probably going to skyrocket. So just see how it reacts towards 378.30 if that's how it occurs, right? So for someone who is, looking at this pattern in this chart thesis, what I would mainly do is if we open up red tomorrow and it's a small gap down, I would like to wait and see how we react to previous closing price. And if it breaks above 378.30, I think super bullish if that occurs from the red to green move. Now, if we open up with a big gap down, that's just going to be interesting to see, right? So I'm going to kind of just wait first hour in a sense. I'm going to wait a little bit tomorrow for the trade, but those are the ideas and that's the analysis that I'm truly seeing. Do not get faked out. Play it very, very safe. And that's what I wanted to bring analysis to. So, our key make it or break it levels, 378.30. 378, and key support is going to be this 375.50 and this 374 level. Those are our key levels heading tomorrow. Best price possible if you were dip buying calls would be 376.60, but just be aware of those two patterns. I shared with you a bearish pattern and a bullish pattern, and I kind of explained to you on how you can determine which pattern is going to occur tomorrow based off the price actions and reactions, right? If you're seeing, SPY goes red and then it rips back up to the previous closing price and it's starting to form support at 378 and then it breaks a clean break above 378.30, then that's very, very bullish. But if you're seeing a move where it's red on the day and it's forming resistance, it's forming lower highs, it's looking bearish towards this 378 or towards this 377.50, then it's going to continue to drop. But do not get caught up in that move, because remember, in terms of that pattern that I showed you, it had a small gap down and then it recovered quickly and ripped back up. So do not get caught up in the move. The best thing you could really do is to wait for the previous closing price reaction. And like I said, man, if it's a small gap down and this flips green, it's likely super bullish. So in terms of preparation with this video, that's like what I can mention as of now. There's going to be very important new updates heading into market open into 10 a.m., 11 a.m. And there's going to be phenomenal trading opportunities utilizing the 30-minute chart, right? This is just a day in advance and what I can give you as of now. It's always changing. There's so much scalping opportunity within this market, and we will be prepared to absolutely crush it. Now, in terms of your key make it or break it level for puts to absolutely print and for this to flip super bearish tomorrow, I would say this: it has to crack this 374. It's not going to flip overall super fucking bearish tomorrow if it can't crack 374. That would be that key make it or break it level that the bears would have to take out would be that 374 level into tomorrow to flip super bearish for tomorrow. So I'm going to be watching all of those key levels, my 374 and my 378, 378.30. Those are my main two key make it or break it levels, resistance, support, right? We'll see how it reacts. That's my game plan for watching the SPY tomorrow. Now, let's get into this analysis. And you could see, man, I mean, we're really starting to have a small little gap here. So we'll see. We'll see how things look, you know, towards open. I mean, if it's a big gap down, I don't see a recovery. I think it's going to get ugly and there will be some nice sort of bounce. But puts will likely be printing. And if it's a small gap down, then if it flips green, then this is super fucking bullish. That's my thoughts and analysis as of now. Now, let's get into some of the recaps of the trades and, you know, just discussing trends, pattern recognition, how you can take advantage of scalping the SPY, utilizing these key make it or break it strategies. So let me just clear all this for you guys, and let's kind of go over the new trades. So why did I decide to play puts for the first time at literally 11:30 a.m., literally the peak of the SPY, and then had a very nice pullback within time? Why did I decide to do that? And I played puts multiple times on rips in between this period, and I did very, very well doing that. Why did I decide to do that? So first things first, SPY was up 3%. And in terms of history repeating itself, SPY was pulling back exactly when it was up 3% yesterday. So that's one confirmation. It was just up 3% earlier today. And another confirmation was we sold off exactly at 11:30 a.m. yesterday. So I'm looking at history and I'm saying, okay, is history going to repeat itself? And I'm saying to myself, okay, you know, this is up 3%. Yesterday it had a nice sell-off when it was up 3%. And yesterday there was a nice pullback at 11:30 a.m. Yesterday there was a nice pullback at 11:30 a.m. So I'm putting the theory together. And then I'm looking at the 30-minute candles as well. What are the 30-minute candles telling me? So the 30-minute candles are telling me is, you know, we are at major resistance. We are at major resistance. This is key resistance. This this level right here. This is major resistance. This $378.30 is a very, you know, major resistance on the SPY. You can see it was consolidating slightly lower at 377.66 right around this time frame, right? But it was at major resistance, and it was the first time, you know, retracing that resistance. We're due for some sort of micro pullback for a scalp. It had a crazy move to the upside. And if you're just looking at the 30-minute chart, it's not looking bullish. It is consolidating at the highs. So this is one thing that I want to bring awareness to. Check out this pattern as well. This is another reason why. So I'm giving you all the variables on the reasons why I decided to scalp puts at the exact fucking top. Timed it perfectly. So what I want you to do is look at this. Some people might say, and I got faked out on this yesterday, but I didn't get faked out on it today. Some people might say this is bearish, right? You have this bearish doji here, but then look what happens. SPY starts to spike, right? Now look at here. Look at the inverse. Flip this candle. Look at the inverse right here. This is the inverse. See how it's at resistance and the inverse of that forms? What happens after the next 30 minutes? Instead of a green candle, it's a red candle. You see that? Now watch. I'm going to show you this pattern. This pattern, what I just shared with you, you could have banked on calls and puts today. Let me show you this pattern. Same exact thing. You have that same candlestick, right? And then what happens when that candlestick forms? It goes up, and that's exactly what happened. Now, what happens when the other candlestick forms? You can see right here, the candlestick's forming, the inverse of this one at resistance, it starts to drop. 3 of those candles formed, and you have this nice red one in between, that nice red, green, red pattern. Boom, sell off, man. Perfect setup. Those were all the variables and reasons why I decided to play puts. So yeah, that was the main 30-minute play. And then I had plenty of trades, man. Another trade, this was a nice quick scalp I did on Tesla. I made like a nice 15-20% return on this one, looking at the 30-minute chart. So what I noticed was, as of recently, whenever Tesla has a big drop on the 30-minute at key support, it tends to spike. Now, I knew this wasn't the best entry, but it was just a very quick in and out scalp where I made like a nice 20%, timed it perfectly. You can see right here, you have this nice big red bar. Next 30 minutes is a green candle, right? You could see right here, you have this nice big red bar. Next 30 minutes is a green candle. And I was just looking at that pattern. You have this nice big red 30-minute bar. Next green candle is a 30-minute candle, right? So I'm looking at this chart and I'm saying to myself, wow, this is an overreaction. This right here is an overreaction to the downside. This right here is an overreaction to the downside. History says we should have a bounce for the next 30 minutes. And we did. We had a nice bounce here. I was scalping call options when this was at $246, and it ripped all the way to $249.60. Boom, made a quick 20% in and out like a light on that. That was another one in terms of history repeating itself. And then you could see there was a beautiful gap close reversal on Tesla as well at yesterday's lows, which was an even better opportunity to scalp calls. And then in terms of, other things to bring awareness to, I mean, with the SPY, let's see here. So the main patterns that I shared with you, that was like golden information. Now, let me take a look at the chart as well. So yeah, I mean, can't really say much at the very moment. Just know there was over 10 scalps that were made today. Some of them were very micro focused where I was in and out within a couple minutes, making like 20-30% return. I just kept crushing puts. But that's the main one that I want to bring awareness to. It's basically the easiest one and the simplest one that I can teach you in terms of a potential call opportunity, a potential put opportunity. There's just a couple different variables that I couldn't really explain just off the fly. I'm telling you, they were super laser quick scalps, within the market. And like I said, it was just all done directly on my phone. So things look differently on the desktop. And I'm trying to show you guys like the best setups at the best prices. So I just kind of wanted to mention those in terms of this video with highly predictability. But I mean, you could say in terms of some reasons that I could see right now, you have strong support at key resistance, big sell-off, rips back up, previous support, reacts as a resistance, quick sell-off, right? These small little drops, if you are trading SP fucking X, these contracts are going crazy, man. Puts were going up insane amounts. I've seen barely 5-point, barely out of the money puts going up like 200, 300, 400% on these small little moves, this was a crazy one. This was another one. I decided to play puts. I got in a little bit early. I played puts nicely here, and then I got back. I played puts nicely around here, and then I got back in because previous support was reacting to resistance. So I played the puts, and then I got back in at not a good level, and I got squeezed. And those puts were down. That was the worst trade that I made on the day. But I was already up over 8% on the day, so I was sizing in light. I'm not going to get back on my profits, but that was the worst one on the day. I was down like 50% in a couple minutes because I went 5 points out of the money on SPX, and then I told people, you know what? This is, if it's not going to crash here, it's going to spike. So within that opportunity, you could just hedge with calls with a light size, or you can just cut the loss, or you can just look to get back in at a better price. So I told people at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. is exactly when SPX is going to crash. And the puts went absolutely fucking insane. And I recouped the loss within those puts. Within that crazy move, man. It's crazy, man. I bought SPY puts. This was my re-entry on those at 3 p.m. And the reason why I did it is because yesterday, when we were at key resistance and when SPY was up 3%, it sold off exactly at 3 p.m. And you could see you have this nice big green candle at 2:30 p.m. and you have this nice big green candle at 2:30 p.m. And what does it do? It follows up with a red bearish 30-minute candle, follows up with a red bearish 30-minute candle. Even the candlesticks looked identical. It's just crazy on how well history repeats itself. This pattern right here, this pattern right here, this pattern right here, this pattern right here. Fucking identical. So yeah, man, those puts went absolutely crazy. Let me see what it showed me. Like how, okay, same day expirations. And let's see, what was SPX trading at? So at 3 p.m. and I went 5 points out of the money because I was expecting a big move and also to help recoup the loss I had at the poor entry on the dip, right? Didn't get in the best price on that one scalp. Let's see. So at 3 p.m., this was at 3785. I alerted 3780 puts. So let's see, 3780, 3780, 3780. We got to go 6 strikes, 3780. Let's copy and paste these at 3 p.m. Look at how stupid these fucking puts went. This was absolutely insane, man. So if we go to 3 p.m. right here, these were at, let's see, these were at $4.60. These are at $4.30, $4.60. I got in at $4.90. They went all the way to $14. Absolutely insane, man. Within 10 minutes, they went up that much. And like I said, man, that's what you want to do. You just want to scalp for a couple minutes, 5 minutes, 10, 15 minutes max. A good max is 10 minutes, right around that 10-minute mark to 15. That's a good max. Overreactions sell into overreactions always. You have puts, you get an overreaction to the downside, lock in gains. You have calls, overreaction to the upside, start locking in gains. But yeah, those are the overall things that I wanted to bring awareness to in terms of patterns and recognitions. So those are the main ones that I wanted to bring awareness to. But like I said, there was over 10 scalps. The win rate was above 80%. Absolutely crushed it. Recouped yesterday's losses, and the portfolio is going to be booming, and the green streak shall continue. So I had the green day. Now it's time to spark the green streak. And yeah, I had a very nice green day yesterday, but I flipped it red because poor risk management. I broke all my rules. I was holding same day expirations. I was adding into them. I was picking up new strikes, and I was sold on one idea. That's what I didn't do today. I was never sold on really one specific idea. I adapted accordingly. And I cut my losers quickly. So yeah, absolutely crushed it today. And the scalps were on point, and they were very, very well. So if you do want to be a part of Trader Society, that's going to be the first link down below in the description. Everything is explained on the first link within the video and on the landing page. Just read through it, and if you want to be a part of it, it is going to be down that first link below in the description. You get access to the video lesson library where I'll show you how to trade the unique gap trading price action strategies that I've created, risk management, position sizing, mindset training, developing the right mindset and iron mind. You also get access to the live trading streams, the voice channel, the Discord, the networking opportunities, the people within the Discord. We have plenty of traders within the Discord who are making 5 figures a month. They're pulling in at least 5 figures a month, multiple 5 figures a month. I've seen it, man. So if you want to be a part of this, and you can, get help from them as well, not just me, and you can direct message us, the opportunity is there. It's going to be the first link down below in the description. This is if you're looking to be self-sufficient. If you're looking to be self-sufficient, man, and if you're looking to see my trades in real time, you get access to all the scalps in real time. It's all alerted within the SPY SPX trading floor. You get access to the watch list, stock analysis, everything it is, man. If you want to see me trade in real time and, get access to becoming self-sufficient, becoming better, we're aiming for that 2% daily compounded goal. This would be the right program for you. So I'm going to leave it off at that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in into today's video, and I will keep you updated with the next one. I will see you guys tomorrow live at Market Open.